okay, but 4. I have been home supporting my wife who was working full-time as a frontline. Oh, that's great. Oh, the fact that I'm still able to interact online for meetings, training, etc. That's good. Without prayer, I do not think I will be that positive. Yeah. Thank you so much, colleagues, for sharing your experiences and what keeps you going during this time. I'm gonna go back to my slides. Okay, so now we have done the first activity, which is the check-in activity. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the next activity. Can we mute our microphones? Okay, so now, colleagues, on the next activity, I just want to understand and to hear from you, which learning resources do you use the most to support student learning? Whether you are an academic lecturer or you are a support staff, whether from the library or from any other department, I just want to know which learning resources do you use the most to support the student learning. So again, I'm gonna share that link again. This is gonna be on our slide 2 of Mentimeter. So I'm gonna make sure that I present slide number 2. So it's a multiple choice. You are just going to choose on the resources that I have selected there. You are just going to choose which ones do you use the most to support the student learning experiences. So I'm gonna share the link. Thank you, colleagues, for all the responses. I can see that some of the responses on the previous activity are on the chat. Some of the activities are on the chat. Thank you so much for that. I just want to enter the link. So I want you to select for me which so of these learning resources, which of the learning do you use the most to support student learning? We are here now. You can go to Mentimeter and use this code. I'm gonna paste it again on the chat. Okay. Now I can see from my side. We can keep voting, colleagues. Let's keep voting. Which of the learning resources do you use the most to support student learning? Whether you are conducting trainings, then you can select which resources do you use the most there to support your trainings. Okay, I can see that we have got 4 responses. Let's keep them coming. I can see that ebooks are still leading. Then number 2 is textbooks. And then number 3 is what? Slides. Number 4, it's YouTube videos. So which resources do you use the most to support student learning? For those who don't have the link, for those who have just joined, I have shared the link again. So it's good just to know before I start my session. Okay, from the responses that we received, colleagues, you can see that the open educational resources are number last on the list of resources that are currently used by academic staff and support staff to support student learning. So this really means that no one is currently using open educational resources. It would be nice if we can have maybe 1 or 2 attendees just to unmute and comment on these current results. Mr. Adeline, are you there, sir? Can I just get a comment from your side first and then another comment from the academics? Anyone? You can indicate by raising a hand and then you can unmute yourself. Okay, at the moment we do not have any hands. Okay, it's fine. But colleagues, looking at these current responses, we can see that most academics and support staff, they are using slides to support student learning, and then they are using ebooks. Some they are using YouTube videos and some are using textbooks. So far, there is no one who has indicated that they are using open educational resources. Okay, it's fine. Thank you for that. Let me just go back to, is there anyone who wants to say something? Okay.
Yes, I think the challenge is the issue of awareness.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yes, I fully agree with you. The challenge is the issue of awareness. Anyone from the academics before we continue? Okay, let us continue then. Okay, then our third activity, I want us to have engagement. What is your understanding on open educational resources? So this one is a waterfall. It's a waterfall activity. You can even search, if you are having another phone, you can even search on Google. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to give you 2 minutes. What is your understanding on open educational resources? Then this is what we are going to do. You are going to type on the chat area your response, but you are not going to press enter. So you are going to wait for the facilitator before you press enter. So I will count 3, 2, 1, go, and then you will all press enter. So I don't want you to check someone else's responses. I want us to press enter at the same time. So I'm giving you that opportunity to type on the chat, what is your understanding on open educational resources? If you don't understand anything, you just write it there. There's nothing that I understand about this concept. And then I'm going to count 1, 3, 2, 1, go. And then you will all press enter. And then we will get the responses. So for now, you are still typing your responses. And then at 9:57, I'm going to start counting. So these responses will be typing them here on the chats on MS Teams. You just give me your understanding. on open educational resources. So this week, it's an open access week. We've started yesterday. Yesterday, we had our first workshop. That one was mainly focusing on the open access. So on day 2, we are focusing more on open educational resources. Okay, I'm now going back to MS Teams. I'm gonna start counting. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's press enter, colleagues. Okay. Teams. On Teams, here on Teams. Let's press enter here on Teams. Okay, it's videos and textbooks. That's great. Freely available online resources for learning and teaching. That's great. Free open access to teaching and learning resources for all fields. Yes. Free access to content material that is on certain web. Okay. Teaching and learning material in other formats that are normally paid or not paid for, e.g. Mendeley, EBSCO. That's great. Do you mean, yes, on Teams? I think it's a platform where students or platform where information is obtained. That's great. Free resources that assist in teaching and learning, e.g. free ebooks, free textbooks, and applications, etc. Okay. No, that's great, colleagues. I'm happy about all the responses. Okay, I'm gonna move on to my next slide. So I will be kindly talking more now. At least now I have engaged you. We have done some few activities. So these are the training outcomes. So by the end of this training, participants will be able to demonstrate understanding on the OER subject. Number 2, they will be able to search for open content available online. And then number 3, they will be able to integrate open educational resources in their courses, especially now that WSU has adopted the blended learning mode of delivery. So it is important that you integrate all the resources that you can find online that are addressing your courses. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Here I'm having a video. It's I think it's 3 to 4 minutes video that is explaining about the concept of open educational resources. So what I will do, I will play this video from my side before I move on to the next slide. Please indicate if you cannot get the sound.
Open educational resources. In this video, we'll explore them together and see how you can use them in your courses. Let's go beyond the traditional textbook and just imagine. What if you could reuse teaching materials from your peers from other universities? What if you could customize this content and add your own reflection moments and updates? What if you could remix several sources and create course-tailored modules? What if you and your students could co-create reusable and non-disposable content? What if your students could collaborate to create their own content? And what if you could release these materials for open reuse, free of legal or financial restrictions? Now, how can we make all of this possible? The answer involves open educational resources and open licenses. Open educational resources, or OER, are teaching and learning materials that are free of cost and access barriers, which also carry legal permissions for open reuse, which allows anyone to freely use, adjust, and share these resources. Let's take a look at a few examples of OERs. Think of an open textbook like this one, or collections of university-level syllabi like these ones. Another example would be open interactive simulations and open courseware with full course content. What is open then? Open means free and involving certain permissions, also accessible online. These permissions are often referred to as the 5 R's. Here's what you can do with open educational resources. You can retain them, you can reuse them, also revise them, and remix several resources, redistribute them among others. Now, these permissions in OER are enabled by using open licenses. Creative Commons licenses are the most widely used type of open licenses. They consist of several elements that can be remixed to create special licenses.
Okay, colleagues, I just wanted us to get the definition of these OERs from YouTube. So this is the video that I've taken from YouTube about the open educational resources. So I think we have seen, and then this leads us to the next slide, where I just want to define the OERs. So these are defined as teaching, learning, and research materials that are either in the public domain or licensed in a manner that provides everyone with free and perpetual permission to use the resources in certain ways that might not otherwise be permitted under copyright law. So you will understand that as the library, we normally subscribe to different databases and yes, so that we can get these articles, so that we can also get the ebooks. So we pay for that content. But when it comes to open educational resources, there is no need for anyone to pay for anything. So these are available online, and these have been developed by professionals, by academics, so the quality is not compromised. And this concept of open educational resources is currently increasing in most of the institutions globally and in South Africa. So hence we have decided that during the Open Access Week at WSU, let's also try and unpack this concept of open educational resources and see how it can benefit us, especially now that we are in a blended learning mode of delivery, and that has been accepted by the institution and it's formally. And then any resources used for research. So these resources are used for research, teaching or learning, and may be licensed by the creator of the content, okay, as an open educational resource. So any resources used for research, for teaching, for learning, may be licensed by the creator of that content as an open educational resource. A syllabus, an assignment, a video, a test can all be licensed openly. OER can be combined to create open textbooks and even open courses. So there are courses that are freely available online that we normally refer to them as massive open online courses, MOOCs. So I have enrolled in a number of those courses. You don't pay not even a single cent. They are open, they are available. You can access them 24/7. So there are also textbooks that are increasingly available online that you can search for your courses. For example, last week there was a lecturer who asked me for a research methodology textbook I downloaded that textbook as a PDF online. It was free, so we didn't pay anything for that. Okay, then let's move on to the open textbook. Open textbooks are textbooks that have been funded, published, and licensed to be freely used, adapted, and distributed. So these books have been reviewed to assess their quality. These books can be downloaded for no cost. I think we understand, colleagues, how expensive are the ebooks. Ebooks are so expensive. In the previous months, there were some ebooks that were purchased for the engineering department. And each of those books, each license was around 2,000 Rand. So textbooks and ebooks, they are really expensive. But with the open textbooks, they have been funded and they have been published and licensed to be freely used, adapted, and distributed. These books have been reviewed to assess their quality. So that means the quality there is not compromised. These books can be downloaded for no cost. You see, now that addresses the issue of social justice, because we have got students who are coming from underprivileged backgrounds. So if really we can have free available textbooks, then that means now every student will be able to have access to those textbooks without the cost, because I've already indicated that the cost is very high. All textbooks are either used at multiple higher education institutions or affiliated with an institution, scholarly society, or professional organizations. So that's how these textbooks can be used. They can either be used by higher education institutions or by consortiums. As we all know that here at Eastern Cape, we've got our own consortium that combines all the Eastern Cape institution libraries. So we can do that and have access to those books. And then David Wiley, founder of Lumen Learning, defines OER as any copyrightable work that is either in the public domain or licensed in a manner that provides everyone with free and perpetual permission to engage in the 5R activities, which is retain, reuse, revise, remix, and redistribute. So with the OERs, you can retain them, you can reuse them, you can revise. That means now you can edit them, you can remix. That means if you need chapter 1 from this book and another from there and another content there, you can do that and share with your students. Yeah, and yeah, you can redistribute. So this is what you can do, colleagues, with these OERs. So they are found on different platforms. There are videos that are licensed under OERs on YouTube, Google. There are some images, and sometimes we use images on our presentations. There's a content on open educational resources, open textbooks, and PDF drive. So these are some of the platforms that I would like us to experiment on this workshop today. Before I continue, colleagues, okay, let me just emphasize this before I open the floor for any questions, because we're gonna go practical after this brief explanation. So we said you can retain them, which means you can keep the work forever. Reuse them, you can use the work for your own purpose. Revise, you can adapt, modify, or translate that work. Remix, you can combine it with another resource to make a new work. And then redistribute, you can share the work with others. So this is what you can do. Okay, so for now, let me pause before I explain these different licenses, and then we're gonna go straight to these platforms and try to download the free OERs that we can find that we think will be useful for our courses. Let me pause there for now, colleagues. Are there any questions? Are there any comments? Are there any additions? Pomeza, you will assist me if I cannot see hands from my side. Colleagues, let's just have this engagement. What are your thoughts on what we have just said, on what we have just covered? What are your thoughts? You can raise your hand and unmute yourself to have a comment. Okay. Can I continue? In the absence of hands, comments and all that, can I continue, colleagues?
You can continue something.
Okay. That's great then. Let me continue then, okay? Thank you for that response. So, as you search the resources online, you will normally see these icons. The first one is CC0. So when you see that one, it simply means that no attribution or credit for the original author is needed. You can adapt it in any way you wish and even use it commercially. So any OER resource you find online with this icon, there is no need for you to credit or to attribute the author. You can just adapt it, and you can even use that resource for commercial purposes. Then the second one, which is most popular, is CC BY. CC BY means that you must give credit to the original author. You can adapt and use it commercially if you wish. However, attribution is not negotiable. So with this license, you have to make sure that you give a credit to the author. That is not negotiable. You can use it for commercial purposes, yes, but you must make sure that credit is given to the author. And then the third one is CC BY SA. So the CC BY SA license plus share alike, this means that you must attribute it and share any adaptations you make with the same CC BY SA license. So this one, you need, when you are sharing it, you can share it, but you need to share it under the same license. And then these are the following ones. You can also check them, colleagues, online. I'm going to share these slides with you. So these are the different kinds of licenses. I think I've just tried to explain the most common ones. And I do believe that we will continue with these kinds of webinars so that we can fully understand the concept of OERs. So I'm gonna ask you now, we're gonna start with Google. I'm gonna ask you to open your Google and then just search for any images that you want to use for your presentation. Let's say there's an image that you want to use. As you have seen that here on my presentation, I'm using some images. So if there is any image that you want to use for your presentation, you can search that image on Google, or else you want to upload it on your Wise Up course, you can search that image on Google. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go straight to Google. For example, I'm gonna search for a bulb. Let's say there's a bulb that I want to use on my slides. I want to use a bulb, so I'm gonna go to Google and then I click on images. Then if I want only those images that have been licensed under Creative Commons, so what I simply do, I'm gonna click on tools here, and then under usage rights, I click on usage rights, and then I click on Creative Commons licenses. Once I click on Creative Commons licenses, now I'm gonna see only those that have been published under Creative Commons. Okay, let me say, for example, let me just say there's a concept called flipped classroom. Okay, I'm gonna search about it. There are some images. Okay, or let me search about blended learning. Let's just search about blended learning. You can search for anything that will be relevant for your course. So I'm going to search on blended learning, and then I need to click on tools, because these are all the blended learning images that are available. So if I want to use one on my presentation, then I can say click on tools, and then I click on usage rights. There's a drop down arrow. Now it's currently on all. I'm going to change that to Creative Commons licenses. Then once I select the Creative Commons licenses, then these are the images that I can see under my topic. So if I change that to, let's say, summer model, again, I click on tools, and then I click on usage rights. Then I'm gonna find Creative Commons licenses, then which means now these images I can use them because they have been published under the Creative Commons license. So for example, I'm gonna click the first one. Let me click on that one. There it is. It's on that site, Wikimedia Commons. So if I click on visit the site, I can see now that some rights here are reserved. So this is published under that license. You remember that I said that it depends if they publish under which license. So here they explain that the copyright holder of this work hereby publish it under the following license. So it's the Creative Commons share alike. So you are free here to share, to remix. Attribution, you must give appropriate credit. If you remix, transform, or build upon material, you must distribute your contribution under the same compatible license. So this one is the CC, is this one, the CC by SA license. Okay. Now, do we have any comments or questions? Let me go to the chat and see if there is anything there. Okay. Colleagues, feel free to stop me at any time of the presentation if you want to engage. Otherwise, I'm gonna move on to YouTube. But this is how you download the pictures. Okay, we're gonna move on to videos, and then from there to the books, the ebooks, and then the other resources that are available. As we all know that most of the time we use YouTube as a platform where we download the videos that we can use for our trainings and our courses. Recently, here on this session, I have played a video. That video was from YouTube. So I'm gonna go straight to YouTube and try and type, maybe let me just type for open educational resources. Let's say I want to search about open educational resources. Or else, let's say, no, let's search about research. Let's search maybe about research methodology. Let's just search about research.
$100 online using this method. Let's get started.
Research. Let's say I'm searching for research methodology. So there are videos that have been published here on YouTube. Some of them, the copyright license maybe doesn't allow us to reuse them. So if I am searching about research methodologies and I want specifically the videos that have been published under Creative Commons license, so I'm gonna type here my search text, and then here on the bottom, just below the text search area, there is a filters button. So I need to click on that filters button, and then I filter by features. So under features, I'm going to select Creative Commons. So if I select Creative Commons, then my videos will be filtered now. The ones that you can see here, these are the videos that have been published under Creative Commons. You can even see the CC here. So these are some of the videos that have been published under Creative Commons. I can change my subject and search maybe about blended learning. And then again, I can click on filters, and then I click on Creative Commons. So these are the videos that have been published under Creative Commons. So colleagues, this is how you can get videos from YouTube, and your searches from Google about the open educational resources. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my slides. Okay, on the chat, I'm gonna share another link. So what I have done is that I have combined a LibGuide. I've combined a LibGuide on this topic. So LibGuides are available on the WSU website. When you click on the library tab, the first link there will be LibGuides. When you click on the LibGuides, you will see all the LibGuides that we have published. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna share the link to this LibGuide. I just want you to click on this link and go straight to that LibGuide. So this is where a collection of some of the e-textbooks I have tried and combined them and under open textbooks and OER links. This has not yet been published. This LibGuide not yet published, but use that link. Okay. Once you click on that link, it's gonna take you straight to our LibGuide. Then you can learn about the open access and about the open educational resources. So as you scroll down there, I want you to scroll down up until you see Open Textbook Library. So we're gonna click there on Open Textbook Library. That's where you will search for your textbooks. Okay, I'm gonna log in and publish this LibGuide so that it can be available on our website. For now, it's private. Change status and share. I'm gonna make this published. Okay, just select community, click on save. So now if you are going to our website, I think you will be able to have access to this LibGuide WSU website, or either use the link that I have shared on the chat. So this is gonna be there permanently. We won't remove it. This is the WSU website. This is the library tab. When you click on LibGuides, there are a number of LibGuides that we have published on our website. So here is this one, a guide to open access and open educational resources. So if you click on that guide, it's gonna take you straight here. So if you want to learn more about the open educational resources, feel free to always visit this LibGuide. Share it with other colleagues as well. So I'm saying now we're gonna use the open textbook library. So let's just click here on the open textbook library.
Mr. Madu.
Hello?
There is a question on the chat.
Okay. There is a question What an informative session. Thanks for opening our eyes. Most of us never knew the meaning. Okay, do we then have to reference the images? Yes, you need to reference the images. Like if you can see on my presentation, okay, I've created this presentation on Canva. So Canva is one of the platforms, is one of the, I can say it's a freemium, because it's not free, it's freemium. Some of the features are free, some of them you pay for them. So I have, for example, I'm gonna present this slide. So this is a picture that I took from Open OERs, but I have indicated that the picture is from here. So it's always important that you indicate where you took your picture. So yes, you must reference. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the open textbook. Okay, I'm hoping that we are all here. So you can see that we have got 952 open textbooks here. So no one is subjected to pay for these textbooks. Okay, then you can see that you can browse either by subject. Then this is about open textbook questions and friends. If you want to submit, meaning that you can create, on our next webinar, I will focus more on contributing on the open textbook library. Is there any question? Any questions, Trevor? You want to say something, Trevor? Because I can see that you are unmuted. Okay. Colleagues, can you mute yourself? Okay. So we can browse by subjects. Okay. I want you to just browse to the subject of your choice. You can see that there we've got business, we've got computer science, we've got education, engineering, humanities, journalism, law, mathematics, medicine, natural sciences, social sciences. Just search for any textbook of your choice and then you can download that. Okay, for example, I'm gonna search for the accounting. Let me just search for accounting textbook. So under business, I can see that accounting is the first subject. And then you can see that there are 13 accounting textbooks available. So if I move on to finance, I can see that there are 17, even without clicking. Just by moving my mouse pointer on top of the subject, I can see that there are 17 finance. Human resource, there are 11. So let me just open the accounting. So if you are an IT person, just go straight to computer science. If you are a mathematician or you are interested in mathematics in education, just go to the subject of your choice. So accounting textbooks, here are the accounting textbooks that I have. One is the What Principles of Accounting to Managerial Accounting. And then I've got volume 1, Financial Accounting. Okay. Introduction to Financial Accounting, Principles of Financial Accounting. Okay. I'm going to open this one, the Principles of Financial Accounting. So to open, I can simply click here. I can simply click on the icon or on the link. So this is the principles of financial accounting. Okay. This book is available. Those are the chapters. You see that on the right, I've got a table of contents. So I've got chapter 1, 2, up to 7. If I'm scrolling down on my left, I can see the formats available. I've got a PDF there, format, the conditions of use. This is attribution share alike, the CC by SA license. Okay, these are the contributors. You can see that the author of this is a professor of accounting. She has been with the UNG for more than 20. That kind of information, it really assists in making it a point that the quality is there. Okay, so if I want to download this book, I can simply click here on the PDF. Once I click on the PDF, then my ebook will start loading. So it's still loading. So this is the book with 318 pages. This is the book, Principles of Financial Accounting. It has been published under open license. So you can see maybe which chapters do you want to use from this book. And you can download this book and upload it on WiseUp. You can upload it on any learning management system. You can share the book on WhatsApp platform. You can share the book on MS Teams. So this is how you access these ebooks. Okay, now I'm gonna look for another one. Maybe the one that won't be on the PDF format. Colleagues, do we have any comments? Do we have anyone who wants to unmute and say something? I just want to know, did you find any book or any useful book for your course? Are you getting anything interesting? Kindly unmute and say something. So I'm gonna go back and try to find maybe if we can get an EPUB, Humanizing Science. Let me just open this one and see. Okay. Now, if I'm opening this book, you will see the table of contents there, and then the formats available. It's an ebook format, a PDF format, and online. So if I click online, this means now that I want to access this book when I'm online. But if I click PDF and then download, which means I can access the book offline. Let's click here on ebook and see what we're going to get. So if I click there, this has been licensed under Creative Commons attributes non-commercial. So this one, you cannot reuse it for commercial purposes. So if I click on read book, so now this means I can then read the book online, and you can see that here there are some guides and tutorials. Okay, so let me just see if I click here on press book. Now we'll go back. Powered by Pressbook. So there are even some tutorials there. Some of the books will even have tutorials, but I think these ones are about Pressbook. You can share this book on Twitter. Okay, content is here. Clicking on that drop down arrow, you can go directly. If you want to click here, the storyteller, it's gonna take you straight to that chapter. You see now, below that chapter, there is even a video. There are even some videos. So what is nice about an ebook is that it does not give you only the PDF format, but you find out that there are some other resources as well. In some of these ebooks, you find out that there are some even questions that you can export to any learning management system. So it really depends how was the book shared and which resources have been uploaded to support that ebook. So colleagues, if you are not sure, you can liaise with the library staff so that we can work with you as you search your books, your open textbooks online. Then when we find something that can be easily uploaded on any platform to be accessed by the students, because we really want our students to have access on these textbooks. So now let's say we want to search for computer science, information systems programming. Okay. Education, distance education, higher education, engineering. Let's check engineering, electrical, mechanical, civil, chemical. So if you click on mechanical, this is the book. These are the books for mechanical engineering. All of them, they are freely available and accessible. Okay, Luvuyo Ncinyana, I see that building is not in the list. I see books are under civil, so can name the link for both civil and building. Not a problem, just a suggestion. Okay, sir. Thank you for that. Thank you for that comment. Thank you for that comment. That is noted. We will definitely do that. That is noted, and we will definitely do that. Okay, now I want us to go back again to our LibGuide. Let's go back to our LibGuide, the Open Educational Resources LibGuide. So after the training, colleagues, you can keep on searching on the e-textbook platform. Now we are left with 15 minutes on this session, so I want to move on to the next resource, which is Oer Commons, Open Educational Resources. I want us to open here, the Oer Commons. So if you have clicked on Oer Commons, you're supposed to be on this page. You're supposed to be on this screen. Okay. So even here you can search. So this is a public digital library of open educational resources. It said explore, create, and collaborate with educators around the world to improve curriculum. So the purpose is clear, colleagues. It is to improve and enhance our curriculum. So as the library and information services, we are here and we are dedicated to work with academic staff members so that we can improve our curriculum. Okay, so like any other database where you can search for what you are looking for, on the first text search area, you can click and type for any subject of your choice that you want to search for. Let's say we want to search for, COVID. Let me just say I want to search for COVID-19. So if I click there and then education level, I change that to higher education because there is also primary, lower primary, all that. So if you can change to graduate and professional, that would be great. And then here, okay, let's just leave it as standard and click on search. So if I click on search there, I'm able to get all these resources. For example, the effect of COVID-19 on education and teachers. This one is a CC BY and it's a case study. These are the case studies, even the second one. This one is a data set. This one is a diagram or illustration. Okay. So you can search even for the articles that have been published under open access. Okay, I'm gonna remove that COVID-19 and try to search by subject. On the next column, subject, kindly do that on your side as well so that this can be practical. So under subject, these are the subjects. So let me just select law. If I select law, graduate or professionals, and then I click on search. Okay, then I will get this one. The material type is assessment, full course, lesson and lesson plan, acquiring copyright protection. Okay, let's try and open the first one and see acquiring copyright protection. I click on it and then I can see that 193 This resource has got 193 views. It has been saved by, downloaded by 21, and then I think there's a comment there. Let's just say view resource. This is the resource. So you can play it as a video. You can watch, these are the videos. You can take the final exam, but you need to log in. So if you don't have an account here, you just need to register with your email address. So this is the link. You can share the link. When you click on drop down share, you can share this on WhatsApp, Twitter, Pinterest, and then this is the link. You can copy that link. Okay, I'm gonna check another resource. So you can also find textbooks here as well. Let me just check something for mathematics. Let's check if we can see anything for mathematics. Okay, maybe let me just search for calculus. So here we've got advanced calculus. The provider is what? Is Harvard University. If I click here, you can even see the ratings before you open it. This book has been viewed by 7,318. It has been downloaded by 112. Let's click on view resource. So it's loading. So colleagues, there are projects and initiatives globally on open access. You can either submit a chapter on those resources. So this is the resource. Okay. So for those colleagues who are lecturing mathematics, they can make use of these resources. Share, you can share on Twitter and WhatsApp. If I right click and say save as, then if I right click and say save as, it means I can download this as a PDF. And let me just put it there under downloads. If I click on save then, which means now this book can be accessible offline. Okay. The last two, because now we are left with 5 minutes. The last two colleagues, you can just do it even after the session. For the last two resources, Again, you will get them on our LibGuides. For now, colleagues, I think for now, I think I'm done. Let me just thank you for your time. Just thank you for attending this session. We will keep on. We will keep on with these webinars. I think the next one will be focusing more on how you can contribute, because if we are going back here to Oer Commons, you can see here there's a button where you can add your stuff. So yesterday, Mr. Kanture was presenting about our open access platform at WSU, where you can also upload and publish your resources. So there are many platforms, colleagues, that we can use for the purpose of making it a point that our students, they have got access to the learning resources anytime and anywhere. From my side, I want to thank you, colleagues. I want to thank you. I don't see medicine or health science. Oh, okay, health science is there. Say health science is there. There is a hand, okay? You can unmute yourself.
I just want to know if the recording for this will be available, because I had to do a class and couldn't attend the whole session.
Yes, ma'am. The recording will be available. We have got a YouTube channel as the WSU Library. So I'm gonna upload this recording on our YouTube channel, and I'm gonna circulate the link on the help desk. So if you go to YouTube and then you search Walter Sisulu University Library, you go to YouTube and then you search for Walter Sisulu University Library, then you will see all the videos that we have uploaded on that platform. So this is going to be available on our YouTube platform. Do we have, okay, any other questions, colleagues? Thanks. Thank you so much, colleagues. Thanks to you too. Yeah, this is very interesting. This is very informative, and I think it's going to take our teaching and learning to another level. Thank you so much, colleagues, and goodbye. We have got another session today. I think it's at 12. There's an external presenter who will be presenting also on open educational resources. And then on Thursday, colleagues, we have got a session, we have got a webinar. That one is the event that you can't miss. There will be different colleagues from all over, from different institutions. So they will be sharing their experiences as well on open educational resources and on open access. Kindly make sure that you don't miss that webinar. It's going to start in the morning. I think it's going to be, the time there is going to be 9 or 9:30. But we will be sharing the details on our help desk. From my side, thank you, colleagues, and goodbye. Just unmute yourself and say bye-bye.
Goodbye, sir.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, colleagues.
Well done.
Bye, SMT. Thank you very much.
Bye, colleagues.
Bye-bye.